Hey guys, it's Sam with The Blind Life. We are back. We're still here with Brad and Bryan Manning and my sister Tawny also.
It's been a week. We can't get them to leave.
I know. We're camping out on the couch. We talked about the business side, but now we're going to talk about growing up and growing up visually impaired. The reason why I was so excited about this meeting too is because the two blind brothers have Stargardts like my sister and I, Tawny, and that's why I wanted to bring her. Tell us a little bit about your growing up. A lot of people are fascinated by the story of people, their vision story. Mm-hmm. So you guys were diagnosed when you were young. How did your parents handle that kind of thing?
So I'm a few years older than Bryan, so I was diagnosed.
You can tell by the gray hair. It's if you ever
never misses an opportunity.
Yeah, you know, this platform is a great chance for us to improve the visually impaired community, but also for Bryan to get back on years of teaching. So I failed the kindergarten eye chart. My mom was told, bring him to the optometrist, get him some glasses. And
because glasses solve all the problems.
Yeah, they're trying the glasses on. Nothing's working. They, and we got the range of excuse. We thought, this was a unique story at the time, but actually it's the story of a lot of people. They came up with every reason that my eyesight was bad, other than that it was actually bad and it had sort of this rare condition. It was, he's just lying and messing around with the eye chart.
Doing it for attention.
They're doing it for attention.
Lazy.
He can't read. He just doesn't know his letters, and or actually one doctor said that my mom was coaching me to fail the eye chart.
That's nice.
But we saw a lot of specialists. It actually took a year and a half to get the diagnosis, and even over that year and a half, I was going to see doctors that would. They said I had problems tracking with my eyes, so I was doing these therapies where I'd follow they'd hold a sailboat on a popsicle stick, and I'd have to follow it and trying all these things. So that was kind of the story of getting diagnosed.
Mm-hmm.
And
similar experience. And the one great thing is we have unbelievable parents. Our mom and dad were very supportive, and they were very enthusiastic about us not being two blind brothers, but being just Brad and Bryan.
Right.
And
so they didn't coddle.
No, it was,
our parents did not either.
they supported us in every way that we possibly could ever need, but they never let us feel pity for ourselves and said, hey, you're in school. It's your job to do well, and we're here to help you. We'll get you a tutor. I'll sit down and do the homework with you, but it's your job to do it, and not being able to see the board is not an excuse for not doing well.
Right. And so growing up, childhood, you go play with your friends, ride your bikes, everything like normal kids, right?
Yeah, all of it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I talk to people all the time and their parents, and they're worried about their children just recently been diagnosed, and I tell them your kids are going to be fine. The kids are actually going to be better than the parents are the ones that are going to have the hardest time with it.
Yeah.
Your kids are going to be great.
Yeah.
It's similar to us. Grew up like normal, riding bikes, skateboards, building, forts in the woods and all of that.
Sports, all of it.
Yeah. So your parents were very eager to help and get the help that you needed. And I've also talked to people who their parents told them to hide it. Don't let anybody know. Don't be different. Don't stand out. Which, I'm a parent, and you can't blame parents. Parents are going to do what they feel is the best thing. But I always say that accepting it and embracing it is always better in the long run.
In a similar vein, one of the thing that we always talk about is the vision impairment is not actually the big risk of the eye condition. It's losing your self-esteem. It's not feeling like you can compete in normal. It's clouding your strengths because you're so focused on this one thing that's a little bit different about you. I mean, I think one of the great gifts in a weird way that it gave us is we were actually, through the support of our parents, we were forced to be assertive, to be creative, to be resourceful, to find solutions, to take, you learn things that are very, very valuable, like how to deal with rejection and failure. I mean, if you have a healthy attitude towards rejection and failure, that's like a superpower compared to maybe not having the best vision. I mean, we feel in a weird way there's some gratefulness for the skills that came along with that journey. It's not.
You know, the hackles go up, and you're like, no, don't do that.
Yeah, because we see how dramatically it affects the person's ability to be successful in all the important ways, you know, and to find purpose and to have great relationships and to have an adventurous, fun life. You know, it's just, it's visceral to us to see.
Yeah. And because, like you guys, I'm well adjusted with my vision, I get a little defensive when people are like, my life is over, I'm never going to be able to do anything. So I have a hard time.
It's so funny when people do that, or, you know, whenever you have that conversation, I'm always just like, what about, they're like, I can't do anything. And then you're like, what about the girl who graduated top of her class from Harvard Law School who's deaf and blind?
Yeah.
You know, she's doing better than 99.9% of anybody, and she's killing it. Or like Eric Weinmeier climbed to the top of Mount Everest, or Governor Patterson. You know what I mean? There's a lot of options. There's a lot of people out there that very much contradict that statement, and it seems a little foolish to immediately jump to that conclusion.
And even if there's any truth to it, like even if life is harder, it's like, so what? That belief is not helping you. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like you also have to think about what's practical. You know what I mean? It's like, it's like the short, ugly guy in the bar who thinks he's the hottest thing ever, and he ends up meeting a beautiful girlfriend because of it. You know, it's like
he had the guts to go up to it.
Your beliefs and your mental attitude can count for a lot, you know, and we really are a big proponent of that.
And nowadays there's so much assistive technology that helps you, and it's only going to increase. So
I'm going to get better.
It's
the best time in history to be living with vision impairment. That's what I would say.
What about kids? I mean, are both of you single?
No, I have my beautiful girlfriend who's actually right over there. Her name's Court. And it's funny, she works at Two Blind Brothers, does all of our product and strategy. And we were dating before Two Blind Brothers, and she was actually one of the reasons that the company could go, because she had a lot of experience in the fashion world.
Awesome.
So,
do you guys ever think about, kids and Sam and I both, none of our kids are visually impaired, but do you ever, is that a concern?
Knowing that you might pass it on.
You know, we're probably not the best people to answer because we haven't gotten to that point in our lives yet. I have a girlfriend as well, but I think, one of the things is that we grew up with a very healthy relationship to our eye condition. We know that if we had a kid, even more so than our parents, we could make sure that child never used that vision impairment as an excuse, because we know the trials and tribulations better than anybody, and we know the workarounds, we know the tricks, we know that you can't let that condition hold you back. So I'm not, certainly you want your kids to be born perfect in every single way, as chiseled as Bryan is in the muscular department, and no, but truthfully, it's not something that we worry that much about. And not only that, the medicine has come so far that there's 6 trials right now on Stargardt's disease that are all working on stopping the progression of the disease. I mean, when we were young, they were saying, "Oh, there's going to be a cure. There's going to be a cure." We over time we sort of got more skeptical of it, but we're very close to the research now, and it's unbelievable how far it's come, and it's going to happen. Correcting someone's blindness, reversing it, that's tougher, but the stopping of the progression actually is in the foreseeable future.
All right, guys. Well, thank you very much for checking out. Thank you guys for talking with us and inviting us up to New York. So check out their websites. All your sales are through the website. Correct?
Yes. TwoBlindBrothers.com, TWO.
And I will, of course, have a link down below. So check it out. Thanks, guys. Really appreciate it.
Thanks. Welcome anytime. Come on back.
Yeah. We will see you guys soon. Thanks, guys. Sam with The Blind Life. See you later.